The media tries and tries again to make Trump look like he's the bad guy, but in reality, they themselves are the ones pushing policies that are ruining our great nation. The Democrats do this without even thinking, and if you question them, they start creating word salads like this.
This is just an extraordinary testament to the importance of having a president who understands the power of diplomacy and understands the strength that rests in understanding the significance of diplomacy and strengthening alliances. This is an incredible day.
Of course, they never have an answer for anything that they do because of the fact that they never even prepared for any questions actually being asked of them. Because, that's not how it's supposed to be. You ask Republicans the questions, and you let Democrats just be Democrats. Without further ado, let's begin.
Facts over tracks, isn't that spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas, think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past.
So, digging right in, we actually have breaking non-citizens actually being registered in Georgia to actually vote in our election. This is a little bit of the video right here from the Oversight Project.
We come from a company that is dedicated to registering Hispanic people so they can vote in upcoming elections. Are you already registered? We already voted. You already voted? Yes. Are you a citizen or?
No.
Have you already been registered or?
Yeah.
Are you a citizen or?
No.
Have you already been registered?
Okay, so these people are not citizens of America, but they're voting in our elections. And then the mainstream media comes out and they say, no, non-citizens cannot vote in our elections, you Neanderthal. What are you talking about? We just asked them themselves if they're legal citizens and if they voted in our elections, and they themselves said yes. What are you doing, the journalists and the mainstream media? Why are you lying to us, the people, yet again? Nobody trusts you.
At work? Yes, we have. You've already been registered? Are you a citizen or not a citizen?
No es.
The apartment complex Elliott Norcross in Norcross, Georgia, is occupied primarily by non-citizens. We visited the complex to ask residents 2 questions. Are you a citizen, and are you registered to vote? Shockingly, 14% of respondents admitted to being non-citizens registered to vote.
Buenas, disculpe por molestar. Venimos con una organización que se dedica a registrar a la gente hispana para poder votar en las elecciones. ¿Ya la registraron a usted o? Ya. ¿Y fue en el trabajo o vino alguien a tocar? Ok. Muchas gracias. Y oiga, ¿y usted es ciudadana o? No.
Not a citizen, another organization came and started enlisting them to actually vote in our elections. How is this okay? It just does not make any sense other than the Democrats trying to rig the election in their favor. Why are they enlisting non-citizens to vote, number one? And why are they saying that it is already against the law for non-citizens to vote and then declining to actually vote on any laws that make it illegal for any non-citizens to vote? There's already a law in the book. People are not paying attention to this law, so then they make it a felony, and then people are saying, oh, no, you can't do that. It's already against the law. But you're ignoring this law. It's a complete ignore of the law that's already on the books. And we're supposed to believe you when you say that you're going to already pay attention to the laws on the books. It just does not make any sense here. Don't play dumb.
Bueno, sí, nos dijeron, pero
¿Ya se registró?
yo creo que sí.
¿En el trabajo?
Ajá, sí.
Oh, ok. ¿Usted es ciudadana o no es ciudadana? No es. ¿Ya los han registrado en el trabajo ustedes?
Sí, ya.
¿Ya los registraron? Disculpe, es que no la oigo muy bien por el aire. ¿Ya los registraron?
Sí, ya.
¿Y usted es ciudadana o no es ciudadana?
No.
¿No es?
No.
Venimos con una compañía que se dedica a registrar a la gente hispana para poder votar en las elecciones. ¿Ustedes están registrados?
Nosotros ya votamos.
Ya votó.
Sí.
Yeah, they not only were already registered to vote, but they also already voted. So it's not even like this is a new thing here. They probably already did this in the last election that we just had, which was for our primaries. So why are they voting in our general elections? Why are they voting in any elections if they're not a legal citizen? Just does not make any sense other than the fact that, like I said, the Democrats are trying to rig the election in their favor. It's so stupid why people are not paying attention to this mere fact. Another thing that happens is that Trump went on the campaign trail. He went to a historically, I guess there was a organization happening here, and they were gathering all of the world's best journalists, which actually get called out for specifically just the color of their skin for some reason, but historical black journalists for some reason. He was supposed to go to this event with Kamala Harris. And of course, Kamala Harris decided not to come because Kamala Harris was busy going to do something. I don't know. Anything else but coming here, I guess. Trump showed up and Kamala Harris didn't. Nobody told Trump that Kamala Harris was not going to show up. He's just sitting there being asked all of these loaded questions. This is exactly what they do for Republicans. They say, you're racist, you're bad, you're evil, you're Hitler. So why do you think that people should vote for you? That's exactly what they say every single time. But then they go to Democrats and then they're like, you're so awesome. You did this achievement and this achievement and this achievement. Why do people hate you so much? That's what they do for the Democrats. Meanwhile, Republicans are forced to actually answer these loaded questions. Now, Trump was asked if he thinks that Kamala Harris is an actual DEI hire. Along with that, he said a couple of other things, but we're going to be focusing on this because a lot of people are focusing on this. When Trump was asked if Kamala Harris was a DEI hire, he said this.
Some of your own supporters, including Republicans on Capitol Hill, have labeled Vice President Kamala Harris, who is the first Black and Asian American woman to serve as vice president and be on a major party ticket, as a DEI hire. Is that acceptable language to you? And will you tell those Republicans and those supporters to stop it?
How do you define DEI? Go ahead. How do you define
diversity, equity, inclusion?
Okay,
No,
yeah.
that's not a definition. Okay, so these people, I already saw this clip. It just annoys me every single time. These people don't even know definitions. Asking the definition of what an organization or an acronym actually is completely different than actually just explaining what the acronym stands for. What does the FBI stand for? Oh, the FBI is the Federal Bureau of Investigations. Okay, so what does it do? I just told you, the Federal Bureau of Investigations. No, that's not what it does. That's what the acronym stands for. What does DEI actually mean? Okay, diversity, equity, and inclusion. That's not what it means. Diversity, equity, inclusion, in your own words, or maybe not this journalist, this specific journalist, but in the words of the leftists that actually push DEI, you want people of color and people in minority classes of people to get jobs at a little bit of a higher rate because of the fact that the white people, particularly white males, quote unquote, take up so many jobs in this industry or this specific industry that you're trying to implement DEI into that you need to fire the white people in order to actually make room for black females, particularly. Why are we sitting here acting like this is just this is a mystery wrapped in an enigma? What are we talking about here? A definition and what the acronym stands for are two different things. This journalist should know so. But of course, she's not going to say the definition of that because, of course, nobody agrees with DEI when you actually explain it how it actually is.
Is that what your definition?
Give me
a definition then. Would you give
That's
me
not okay. But what is the definition? He's asking you what the definition of it is so he can actually explain if he thinks that Kamala Harris meets the criteria that you just enlisted.
Give me a definition.
Sir, I'm asking you a question,
No,
a
you
very
have to
direct
define
question.
it. Define it for me if you
I
would.
just defined it, sir. Do you
That's
believe
not
that Vice
defining.
President Kamala Harris is only on the ticket because she is a black woman?
Well, I can say no. I think it's maybe a little bit different. So, I've known her a long time indirectly, not directly very much, and she was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
It's kind of funny though, because it's true. I mean, he's just explaining what race baiting is, particularly just to make sure that you get the crowd going in this specific area, and then you switch it back and get the crowd going in this specific area. When she was initiated into Congress, she was named as the first Indian American to go into Congress. Now, all of a sudden, Joe Biden first picked her the first black woman. Why are we still sticking with the Indian American? Because of the fact that it's not as powerful in this position. That's exactly what Trump is explaining here.
Is she Indian or is she black?
She is always
But you know
identified
what?
as a black
That's
woman.
not
She's a
true.
historically
Either
black
one.
college.
That's not true. It does not matter if you went to a historically black college and you talked in front of them. That's not a historically black college. What are we talking about here? Don't lie to Trump's face. Don't lie to the American public. We know exactly what college Kamala Harris went to. That's number one. Number two, when you sit here and say that the definition of the word is actually just diversity, equity, inclusion, it's just like a woman just being in the position of power. That's not what DEI is. So don't act like it is.
Respect either one, but she obviously doesn't, because she was Indian all the way, and then all of a sudden she made a turn and she became a black person.
Just to be clear, sir, do
And
you
I
believe
think,
that
I think
she is
somebody should look into that too when you ask.
See, it's so funny because this journalist here is cutting off Trump, and then she's getting annoyed that Trump is not letting her cut off Trump. Why are you getting aggravated? Oh, you're not understanding my question, Trump. Oh, what are you getting aggravated for? You can tell that this journalist is actually aggravated because Trump is not answering the question the way that she wants him to answer the question. I'm sorry, that's not how questions work here, journalist. You need to understand that when you ask people questions, they don't answer exactly how you want because that's not your answer. That's their answer.
Continue in a very hostile, nasty tone.
It's a direct question, sir. Do you believe that Vice President Kamala Harris is a DEI hire, as some
I
Republicans
really don't
have
know.
said?
I mean, I really don't know. Could be.
It's not even just that because of the fact that Joe Biden admits to this very fact here.
To
Look,
me, the values of diversity, equality, inclusion are literally, and that's not kidding, the core strengths of America. That's why I'm proud to have the most diverse administration in history. It taps into the full talents of our country. It starts at the top with the vice president.
Joe Biden admits that Kamala Harris is a DEI hire. So why are we sitting here acting like, oh, why are you going to tell your Republicans that is bullying my Kamala Harris to stop bullying her and saying that she only got into the positions of power because of the color of her skin and her being a woman? And then Trump is like, I really don't know. All that he had to say was Joe Biden said himself that he wants a woman of color to be the vice president. Is that a DEI hire in your opinion? If you hire somebody based on the color of their skin, in the sex that they actually are, is that actually promoting them into the position of power based on diversity, equity, and inclusion? That's exactly what he had to say. The media reporter would just be silent because she knows it's true. She knows this. All the mainstream people know this is true because it happens again and again and again in our society because of the fact that these Democrats love pushing particular agendas that hurt the average American, and it actually elevates people that are not fit for the job. That's exactly why we saw so many people fail us, the American people, every single time. And speaking about failing us, the American people, Massachusetts just passed H4885. I'm actually texting and emailing a lot of people behind the scenes because I want this to actually go more mainstream because of the fact that this is such a horrifying bill and this is such a disgusting bill that I am going to sit here and talk about this for the remainder of the show because of the fact that this is such a disgusting thing that Massachusetts just passed. Now, if you do not already know, Massachusetts just signed this bill, and what does this bill do? Now, this is a bill that is 300 pages, and they voted on this bill in the House of Representatives the next day after getting this bill. There's no way that they actually read the bill. And the House actually said, listen, let's just read the bill. If we want to pass this bill, let's just read it. And they denied the claims. They denied it and said, no, we're just going to pass this bill. We're not going to read it. Why would we read this bill? If we're going to pass it, why are we going to read it? No, we're going to just pass it. So, of course, they did not pass it. This new Massachusetts gun law is now being challenged by the NRA. What does it do? So, the National Rifle Association says that it's going to challenge it. Governor Haley signed the bill on Thursday, approving new strategies for combating the so-called ghost guns, expanding the law that allows a court to take guns away from someone considered a threat to themselves or others, and adding schools, polling places, and government buildings to a list of areas where state law forbids people from carrying firearms. What does this actually do? This actually changes how the state law defines assault-style firearms. Now, I actually left Governor Haley a message last week before she signs this bill. And we have the footage right here, but we're going to play that at the end because I was going. I was mad at Governor Haley for actually just looking at the bill. And I said, listen, if this bill goes on your desk, you cannot sign this. But the thing is, this is the exact situation here. The law defines assault style firearms, not even a definition, but it defines them as any semi-automatic rifle, okay, or a shotgun that holds more than 5 rounds. So a rifle that shoots semi-automatically, that has the detachable magazine, is now banned under this law, and any shotgun that has more than 5 shots that could be fired from the single magazine can be, or is banned already. It's already banned. So this new law considers a gun an assault-style firearm if it is a semi-automatic shotgun or any semi-automatic center-fire rifle or a semi-automatic pistol with the availability to accept a detachable feeding device. So it's effectively also banning Glocks, which does not make any sense, a folding or telescopic stock, or a thumb hole stock or a pistol grip, or a forward grip, or a second hand grip, or a protruding grip that can be held by a non-trigger hand, a threading barrel designed to accommodate a flash suppressor or a muzzle brake or a similar feature, or a shroud that encircles either all or part of the barrel designed to shield the barrier's hand from heat, excluding a side that enclosures the barrel. That provision has attached the attention of gun owners, some of whom says that the features included as some of the part of the assault-style firearm definition are common and often cosmetic in nature. The Gun Owners Action League, this local arm of the NRA, said that its summary of the law in its definition includes most, if not all, semi-automatic rifles and shotguns. So this is just ridiculously stupid. The fact that you need to jump through hoops already in Massachusetts to actually get your gun certification class, which is hundreds of dollars. Then you need to pay for your background check, pay for your licensing and your registration, which then you go through a federal background check and a state background check. And then you then have to wait months to get a little card with your name on it that says that you are now safe to use a gun. So there's two types of guns here in Massachusetts. There's an FID, which is a firearms identification card, or there's a license to carry, LTC. So you need a license to carry in Massachusetts or a license to actually purchase a firearm. If you have the FID, then you can only purchase a shotgun that has the 2 bullets. You shoot 2 times and then you reload. You cannot have anything that has a detachable magazine at all. You can only buy muskets and stuff like that on that side. But the LTC formerly allowed you to buy semi-automatic guns like a SIG or a Tavor X95 or a Tavor TS12. Some of these firearms my father owns himself, and we go to the range and we have some fun with that. So the thing is, here in Massachusetts, you cannot no longer do this, which is the most disgusting thing ever, because this is the biggest gun control ban that the state has ever had. And if you look at the statistics, right, you can see that New York and California has similar, if not strict, gun control laws. And they have higher crime rates than us. And they have the same exact laws on the books. So is it the location at which people go to intend to commit crimes, or is it the laws that prevent people from doing these very things? You know what I say? It's the location. If you look at LA, San Francisco, you look at all of these different look at all these different cities within the California, you can see that people are more likely to actually commit crimes in that area. Just like Chicago. Chicago has some really strict gun control laws. They still have they have a really high crime rate over there. You can look at Illinois, which is the state that Chicago is part of. You can look at that and see that, of course, Illinois has a big crime rate, gun-related deaths. In 54% of gun-related deaths in America come from suicide. So are we going to sit here and ignore this? And even if we were to look at the facts here and look at when Massachusetts first started trying to implement these type of gun laws, which is in 2018, we can sit here and look at the fact of course, crime actually rose 114%. It's even avoiding the fact that we passed gun control laws in Massachusetts, and the gun related incidents still have gone up, and they gone up everywhere. So is this really preventing anyone from actually getting an illegal firearm and using it against people? What they are preventing here is you and your family from being protected. They are preventing you from protecting yourself against a criminal with a firearm. That's the purpose of this firearm, to protect yourself and your family. What stops other people from getting it on the black market, or getting it illegally, or getting it from another state that they just pay somebody that lives in this other state to purchase a firearm at the store, and then they sell it to them? It's obviously illegal, but they don't care. You really think that somebody that's going to break the law is going to be limited to 10 rounds on a magazine? No, they're going to go to another state, buy a 50 round, and then they're going to just bring it back to the state. They're going to pay whatever they can, or they'll get somebody that lives in that state to actually buy it for them and then give it off to them, because they don't care. They'll get the money. They'll get this thing that's illegal, and they'll use it in the state against people that have to stay here and be burdened by the laws that are restricting them from protecting their own family. What a disgusting thing. Governor Haley posted this all over her social media, as she's actually proud of this. And it's such a disgrace too, because of course, once this goes to the Supreme Court in Massachusetts, it's going to be dead. The Supreme Court in Massachusetts does not care about the amendment at all. They don't care about the Second Amendment. They don't care about your constitutional rights. They do not care. So it needs to get to the federal court. And this just makes me want to donate to the NRA even more. And it's just such a disgusting thing. I just can't undermine the disgustingness of it. Like the fact that Governor Haley signed this into law, knowing all of the laws we already have on the books, knowing all of the facts of this, knowing that people have to get an LTC to actually purchase a firearm, or an FID to purchase a firearm, all the gun certification classes. I feel most bad for my family members that just recently applied for the LTC, went through the certification classes, and they're waiting for the license to come back in the mail. When their license comes back in the mail after them spending hundreds of dollars, they can't get anything now. It's banned. These people are waiting for the state to send them back their license to carry. By the time they get it back, nothing. You can't get anything. It was effective yesterday. So if you're waiting 2 months for your LTC to come in the mail, you're done. It's good as trash. You might as well just shred up your LTC. You can't get anything now in Massachusetts. In Rhode Island has similar laws. If not, Rhode Island actually has less strict gun control measures than Massachusetts. And this is saying a lot. And they have a lesser crime rate than Massachusetts. So this is the most appalling thing about this whole entire situation here. That's why that more people need to talk about this. More people have to put the fire on Governor Haley's back and rear to actually get her to, obviously she's not going to do anything now. She signed it into law. But we need the Supreme Court to actually start paying attention to constitutional matters here. This is a huge constitutional matter, because why does the state have the right to infringe upon your right as an American to bear arms and to protect yourself and your family? That's our Second Amendment right in not Massachusetts, but in the whole entire country. That's our Second Amendment right. This is a huge overreach of the government, and people are starting to find this out. And God, I just hope that if this does go to the Supreme Court, I hope that there's a snapback. That since they did go so far into banning this, then they go the opposite way. They unban guns that were formerly banned, and they release some of the rules and regulations, because that would be the snapback. Or at very least, Republicans win come November because of this. So people are starting to wake up to the situation, and I really hope that they start waking up sooner than later, because this is the most disgusting thing that I ever saw. And in a law, I should say, because I just have no words to explain how stupid this law actually is. That it actually got passed, that it actually got signed into law, that some people actually support this. Why? Just does not make any sense. Because you know why? No, and it does make sense. Because they don't care about you and your family. Democrats don't. Democrats do not care about protecting you. They hate you. They hate Republicans. They want to kill Republicans, and they just wanted to kill the front runner just a few weeks ago through an assassination attempt on former President Trump's life. They do not care about you. They're going to shoot the presidential front runner in the Republican side. They will shoot you, run you over, and back their truck right up into you. They do not care about you whatsoever. They want you gone. So, remember this in November. Remember this when you go to vote. Remember this when the Democrats say that they care about law and order. Remember this when the Democrats make up stories about you, the law-abiding citizen, breaking the law, which does not make any sense. Remember this when Joe Biden tells you that you're senile. Remember this when Joe Biden and the Democrats tell you that you are the people that are crazy, you are the problem, that you are the people that are conspiracy theorists, that you are the people that must be thrown out and killed and pushed to the side. Remember this in November when Democrats lie to your face and tell you that Kamala Harris is a great person and lie to your face about all the Democratic talking points. Remember this in November when you go to vote for the next president of the United States. And remember that they hate you.